Savage Cut. Real talk, no filter on Savaged Unfiltered. Savaged.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to Savaged Unfiltered. I am the host here, Savaged. Welcome to today's show, guys. Gotta love new sponsors, right? What I mean by new sponsors, guys, is no, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't have another alcoholic sponsor or an alcohol sponsor, however you want to say it. But I got a new show sponsor. I'm going to start saying that, Joe. Show sponsor, because you have to kind of separate them a little bit. I want to thank Monkey Colt Coffee Company. That's right, guys. They are known for their boozy coffee. And with Monkey Colt Coffee Company, boozy coffee is just ready. It's just better. Did I say it's just ready or just better? I'm fucking up my own plugs again.
You clearly haven't had enough coffee again yet. And
I clearly haven't had it. Yeah.
And boozy, not Uncle Bozy.
Uncle Bozy, right? It's boozy. Boozy coffee. So, guys, jump over to Monkey Colt Coffee Company. The QR code here is in the screen if you're viewing us on X, Vimeo, or Rumble. Scan the QR code today, guys, and use code SAVAGED at checkout, and you're going to get some exclusive deals here from the show. A little bit about Monkey Colt Company. They actually discovered us not too long ago. Was checking out a couple of episodes. Have spoke to them privately on DMs on X. Seems to be everybody's on X now these days, Joe. I guess it's like the platform of the future, right? And it's also free speech. I love about everything about X. But a little bit about them, guys. They're going to be on the show here this week. So you're going to want to check out that episode as we will air some of the people behind the scenes of this coffee company. Love to hear about their backstory and how they started and everything else. But on to today's show, Joe. What's been going on, man? How's everything in your neck of the woods?
Well, first, I'm kind of not properly recognizing Passover. And by which, I don't mean the religious holiday. I mean passing over any chance of appearing on with Savaged again, like I really should do. But just a joke. Just a joke. Just another loving jab at my friend Savaged.
Yeah.
You know me. So, any potential joke, I got to get it in.
Yeah, any potential joke, man. I mean, we got to get the puns in when they're necessary.
Yeah.
So
especially when it's at your expense and you've not had enough coffee, and I know it might go over your head.
It may go over the head. It may just stay here for time to time. But I'm looking at the notes here from Monkey Colt Coffee Company, and my daughter decided to actually print up some notation for me about Monkey Colt Company and Coffee Company, excuse me. And she's like, "Dad, can I do something for you today? Because I know Shaky's not around, and I want to help you out." I'm like, "Okay, I'll give you something to do." So I decided to, have her print out the notation for Monkey Colt, and she printed out other things, other notations here I have on this side of the desk here. But this particular notation that she printed out, folks, about Monkey Colt Company, Coffee Company, if you could see it, guys, look, see the wording? I guess you can see right there. See the wording? It's very faded. The wording is like faded. Everything you could see, it says about, and then it says giving back, and then it says our coffees. You could see that plain as day. See? See? About. It's a mirror image, guys, because I'm showing you on the camera. But it says about, and then it says giving back. That you could see. But all this right here, it's all faded. I have to be like, I feel like I'm a 75-year-old man trying to I can't see it. Embrace the revolution of coffee. Monkey Colt. What is that word? Masterpieces? Jesus, Kira.
What's that Masterpieces. Oh, okay. Thought maybe you were saying something else. No, us old geezers with glasses, we need stuff. Kira, you gotta blow up the font size. Us
She's got to
old
do
guys
something.
with glasses, we need bigger fonts. Minimum 20-point font sizes.
Yeah, minimum something. Do something for goodness sakes. Good grief. So I mean, next time you do this, kiddo, you have to blow up the font like Joe says. We can't see it. We're getting old. The eyesight is not always great. Even with our glasses, we have to what the hell did that fucking say? Anyway. But welcome to the show, Joe. Before we decide to bring in this guest here, which I say that loosely, besides, before we decide to bring in this guest, because, guests, they seem to have technical problems or they forget the time zone.
Oh, no.
Not
again.
That's what I'm saying. Before we decide, because, you never know with Savage Unfiltered. Sometimes they have shit to do. And
especially if they're on an iPhone. Every fucking time an iPhone causes problem.
I'm telling you, man. It seems to be every person that remembers show schedules seems to be Joe or, Bobcat Lament over his show and everything. Except for me. Yeah, meow man. Yeah, except for me. I sometimes I'm coming in a minute, 2 minutes late. Joe's usually waiting in the green screen there in the digital studio, and he's like,
"Yeah,
all right, come on. Is it Savage time or is it recording time?"
Exactly. Is it everybody else's time or is it Savage time, which is always usually few minutes at least, if not a half hour behind everybody else.
All right. So we did get confirmation from the guest. He's running late, but he'll be here in 15, 20 minutes. Good grief. That would be about the time we wrap it up just about. So we'll have about 10, 15 minutes before we can actually plug him in. It's
hopefully his running late doesn't involve runs in the bathroom.
Something came up with my son. I'm reading the DM through the email. Through the email, he just emailed me here. So
while I was throwing in gut-filled potty humor, you were reading, so it went past you.
So I want to. I feel confident that he's going to come in, so I'll give him a small little plug, and then we'll go on with today's show. This guy here, Joe, is an AI artist. Okay, so and that's becoming popular. I notice on social media, not all social media. I've noticed certain platforms are kind of pushing it. Right, you have TikTok, you have I can't say Instagram because I'm forever banned from Instagram. Thanks very much, Instagram. There's the bird for you. A little bit of Facebook, but heavily on TikTok and X. I mean, that's all you see now is AI art on X, right? Formula Twitter. What's your thoughts on that, Joe, with this AI stuff? Do you think it's kind of important to talk about, or is it just like a nothing burger?
Oh, it's important to talk about. I did a whole Constitutionalist Politics podcast episode. Liz Enton, the atheist, came back on to discuss AI cheaters. God. You just described something and it's actually the AI doing the work. That to me is cheating. So I need a clarification from the guest. What exactly is he doing and what exactly is the AI doing for him that, it's okay for AI using it like a DuckDuckGo tool for research, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a great aggregator, but the problem, as we've seen with the Google AI, it's Google garbage in, therefore woke garbage out.
Yeah, I like that analogy that Joe just used there. I mean, that's simply plain and simple, man. I mean, sometimes AI works for you. But, I'm going to talk a little bit about AI, and I'm going to get our guests' insights on it with the AI feedback, because everyone is they're losing their minds to an extent with this AI, especially in these spaces. I'm usually heavily presented in X spaces, and I love X spaces, Joe, because it gives good reaches to your content. and it pretty much advertises just who the hell you are. I mean, if you're trying to advertise, if you're trying to self-promote, head over to these Twitter X Spaces, guys. They're phenomenal. Some of them are kind of like, like Joe uses the words twatter, right? You get the twatter garbage, but it's a tremendous platform, to self-promote yourself, to grow your following. Yeah.
That's not a sexual innuendo reference.
Oh, God.
When I say twatter, it's just, meant to be demeaning, not towards the female gender. But there are a lot of twatters on there that have no clue what the female gender is. Yeah, a lot of leftist loons still. And as you probably saw, I was going back to glasses. I was cleaning them. Hey, I can actually see you now.
If you notice, guys, you're not. Yeah, I'm actually seeing you too, Joe. Speaking about glasses, because we're going off the rails again on the roller coaster, which we're known to do that.
Rabbit holes.
Yeah, I call it, the savage roller coaster. Joe's steering the steering wheel on it, and we're just going right over the fucking the rails
off
again.
Off the rails, yeah.
But if you notice, I don't have a lot of glares on my glasses. I got rid of the light, in the studio here, because it was oh my God, there was a glare here, a couple little glares, from the lights here in the room. But you can't do anything about that. I have to have the lights on. I mean, do you want to see my handsome, sexy face, or you want to have the lights off? I'm joking, but the fuck you, Joe.
Michael, Savage on Spotify.
Glare in my too. I turn off the TV now. I rearrange my light, but I still get glare back from you. It looks bluish, and that's because of Restream. The majority of the screen is glaring at me in blue tones, so that's kind of reflecting back.
Yeah.
Guys, a little savage behind the scenes again.
Yeah. Before we continue, guys, I got to get another break in here. With the breaks, guys. Joe's probably going to make fun of me after I plug this one in, but this is actually just an episode sponsor, so I want to thank 7-Eleven. That's kind of why I was drinking my 7-Eleven this morning. I had to get it on camera on X here. If you notice, guys, if you do follow me on X, I took a picture of a 7-Eleven cup that I was drinking, my hand and everything, as I'm walking into the studio, just about maybe an hour ago, I guess. And I said, look, and then I put at J Leonard Detroit. Look at J Leonard Detroit. I made sure I have my cup of coffee. Yeah.
At J Leonard Author, because at J Leonard Detroit is still locked. Hey, Elon, fuck you. You're no better. I'm still locked out for bullshit.
Joe making sure that he corrected me, because I always put that at J Leonard Detroit because it's on everything that he has, whether it's fucking TikTok, YouTube, all that. So it's always at J Leonard Detroit. So at J Leonard Detroit, at J Leonard Author. There you go, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Twatter is the one odd space. I'm at J Leonard Detroit, Rumble, YouTube, Getter, Truth, Gab, TLB, 15 different platforms or more. But Twatter, I gotta be J Leonard Author, because they refuse still to unlock my account that was with them for more than a decade and a half and was locked out after Elon took over, not before it, even through all 2016, when Politico and Hillary Clinton were literally attacking me and 199 others, hashtag the mighty 200, attacking us. Before the Russian collusion delusion was done, they tried it on us, calling us Russian assets and Russian bots. And when they saw it was selling, they got the phony Steele dossier and used the Russian collusion bullshit on Don. So I know all that well. In 2016, I was one of Hitler's and Politico's first target before you ever heard it used to attack Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Under my @JLunderDetroit, now locked out account.
Yeah. Hang on, Joe. I don't mean to say shut up, but shut up for a minute. So anyway, guys, Joe was going into the whole backstory of how he got shadow banned from his original account on X, and it sucks. By the way, before I close this sponsor out, hold on, Joe. We're going to go there with that for a minute. But check out 7-Eleven. Thank you very much, 7-Eleven, for sponsoring this episode. Please sponsor some more. We need it. But thank you. I'll take a sponsor when I can get it. Scan the QR code that was just up on the screen, guys, and you're gonna get some amazing coffee. I like their new coffee. They have not in every 7-Elevens that are being built. They have actually real coffee beans right on the top, and as you're choosing your coffee, it's being dispensed into the machine, crushing it, and baloo, you got your coffee. So back to the show.
Regarding 7-Eleven, there was a grab and go, it was called.
Grab and go.
Independently, local small business owners, independently, no franchise affiliation operated. I went there a lot, but they went under. They went out of business. They didn't get enough business. So, yes, I don't go for 7-Eleven coffee, but I'm in there a lot to get my chocolate, my Prairie Farms chocolate milk. Okay, Prairie Farms. Now, you've had a free shout out. We need you to sponsor the show. Prairie Farms chocolate milk.
Yeah, and also too, I'm gonna do this because a lot of podcasters don't do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because you know what? Because I'm a nice guy. Yes, I am nice behind the actual label Savaged.
No, he's not.
Oh, shut up. Anyways. But yeah, guys, not only sponsor this show, but sponsor Joe's show, Constitutionalist Politics Podcast.
Thank
Joe
you,
would
brother.
love to have a couple little. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And also, too, Monkey Colt Coffee Company. Give Joe a sponsor over there on his show. I know you're listening. So they're an awesome company, guys. I think Joe would be really, really happy and thrilled to have you as a sponsor on his show. Constitutionalist Politics Podcast. Hey, I said it right. Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Evidently, maybe you did have enough coffee, or it finally kicked in. The coffee finally kicked in.
I didn't even need AI to filter that in. I didn't even need notation from my daughter that she's not in this room, but I'm going to yell anyway because she can hear me from the other room. That's
you
right.
wouldn't be able to read it if she gave it to you, but yeah.
Exactly. I guess you're Kira, you're more worried about watching stuff on either Peacock or Hulu than helping your father this morning with freaking notation. God, good grief.
And
man.
since I always tease you, I gotta certainly then tease Shaky and Beth for not being here. Then it's like I'm here, but they've abandoned Savaged today.
They abandoned me. I'm telling you, they abandoned me like the ship going down. Like we did a whole episode, myself and Bobcat Lament, a couple weeks back, more than a couple weeks back now. Almost a month. I went on a trip, guys. I highly suggest you check that episode out. Went on a trip, a boating trip, which I normally do when I'm always in the Tampa Bay, Clearwater area. Shaky's got a boat that's, I say about maybe 20, 25 minutes from his house and, studio area. And we went on a boat, and I was pretty much driving the boat the entire time while Shaky was half composed downstairs in the boat. So,
while you were out with the upper crust on the yacht, I don't even have a canoe or a rowboat.
Dude, I mean, he was like I had to cater to his freaking demands on that entire trip. Oh, we're there already? Yeah, Shaky, would you like to start the day, and can we fish now, or would you like to go back to sleep?
Can I take off the D? So he really took you along to be his help.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the guy was sleeping half the time and fishing. He was even fishing in his little custom chair he bought from Boat US or US Marine or where the hell he bought it from. He's sitting in the chair like this.
He pulled a Donald Trump at the trial. Have you heard the latest? Of course, the left. Sleepy Joe Biden falls asleep at national events with, figureheads from other nations. He's always dozing off, but yet Trump tries to rest his eyes one time during the trial, and big fucking breaking news.
Oh God! Yeah. Can't have that. Good grief, man. So we're gonna try to get back to the show again here about this AI because that's like the top of the.
Is he made it? Is he in the green room now?
He's getting there. He's getting there. Yeah, he's getting there.
Stretch.
We're stretching. We're stretching the episode. What is that? Laffy Taffy when you stretch it out a little bit, right? We're stretching them out a little bit. That kind of sounded gay, but no. But anyway, Joe, I want to talk more about this AI. With everything going on with it, the algorithms some of it's just out of control, man. You see on especially X, with certain internet trolls, they are using this AI to their advantage as a weapon, man. And it's causing people Joe here. I'm assuming when AI was in its beginning phases of it, I'm sure it had a lot to do with your suspension. I truly believe that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
It's all automated. You cannot get a fucking human there. You cannot email them. You cannot call them. Their system is fully automated. You can't get a fucking human to look at what happened. And I said, fuck you, Elon, before. Now, let me be fair, though. Let me be fair. I mean, I know as a former IT guy, there are still traps and landmines in all that code. It's going to take them years to weed out all the shit traps and redundancy of leftist code that's buried all through there. So, I want to be fair. I always want to be fair. So, yes, I am obviously still upset. My account, again, that existed since 2006 is locked out on a supposedly now free speech site. But, again, fair. Pros, cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of it. I will even give leftists a fair break, something they would never do for me. If a leftist says something correct, I'm not, I don't have Biden derangement syndrome either, just like I don't have Trump derangement syndrome, right? You could see it. Principles before personalities, my hashtag, principle, not personalities. Everything based on its own merit. You say something correct or that I can agree with, I'm not going to shape my response based on who is saying it, but the merit and the argument of the item in discussion.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with these leftists, right? Or these fascocrats, socialists. I mean, they're all the same pretty much. I mean, yeah, it has a different title and a different label to it, but they all act the same, Joe. I mean, they love to twist the narrative or the language behind the conversation you're engaging in, and they love doing that. Especially engagement, guys. I threw out a poll on my X account. Is leftists on this platform of X engaging in engagement farming? And for those that are not familiar with engagement farming, it's some of what we're talking about here on the show. They love to engage and farm in that type of argument. That's why they call it engagement farming, and they're doing it on purpose, Joe. And I was kind of interested. where's my words? I was kind of baffled. There we go. That's better words of probably saying it. I was baffled to see a split in the poll. There was like 50% showing yes and 50% showing no. So I'm kind of questioning who said no, and I think we know who said no. Those are the leftists usually. Yeah. We're not using engagement farming. We're not manipulating AI on X to get the narrative stole. Come on, bullshit.
Or that Grok shit. I've not looked into it. I have no interest in looking into Grok, or Gab's version of it, or Getter's version of it. No, thank you. No interest. But yeah, engagement farming, just a new phrase for trolling, because again, trolling, can't, the connotations of that. So like the left always does, change the definition, change the term, right? Not on X, but on Truth Social. I just went through that with a leftist loon and the greatest Biden accomplishments, the greatest economy in 20 years. You redefined unemployment. You redefined inflation. You redefined what it means to be in or not in a recession, to spin that it's a great economy when everyone knows that wages usually go up. Wages usually are higher than ever before, no matter who the president is. This is, again, principles, not personality, and facts. Wages are up, yes, but your buying power has been destroyed because Biden inflation, which again, they play with the numbers to make it look lower. What matters? Labor participation rate, lowest on history, even lower than the Obama and Biden administration record low of then. So unemployment is a farce, is a joke, it's a lie, damn lies and statistics, as they say. Same thing with the inflation rates. What matters, because they changed the terminology, they changed the measurements, what matters now, like labor participation rate, is what's called the bushel basket index. That hasn't changed since World War II when it was invented. The exact same items measured against previous years, and since day one Joe took office to now, on average, everything in that bushel basket is up more than 27%.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Have your wages gone up by 27% over the last 3 years? Fuck no, they haven't.
You notice how the tilt of the head just came in when Joe was talking about that, guys? Because I can tell you guys, as much as this show is successful through our audio platforms and somewhat of video, my salary, my income, that I'm working more than ever now, guys. And I'm going to be dead honest. I mean, I'm not a millionaire. I'm barely, a half a millionaire. I mean, yes, I make money as much as I can, but I'm dabbling in more of multiple sets of income than ever before. With this podcast, including like side production through like all casting productions. I get my movie gigs every now and then, with the extras. It's extra work, guys. I'm not making, hundreds of thousands of dollars from this. I'm making sometimes, I'll make like, a couple grand from a production. But I mean, yeah, I'm doxing myself a little bit with income, but I'm presenting it as an example of what Joe's talking about. I mean, we're working more than ever. Yeah, it is the facts. Yeah, we're working more than ever, Joe.
Same thing with the jobs market. These aren't new people getting new jobs. These are people getting second and third jobs to try to make up for their primary job wages losing to inflation. They need the extra income. I'm on Social Security disability. I've made no bones about saying that before. My Social Security went up by what, like 6% this year? But again, 6% and then the last couple 3% is like 12%. Compared to what I just said are the facts, not spin. The bushel basket index up 27%. So I am down 15% in my budget and my buying power, and I'm out of shit that I can cut out of my disability budget.
Yeah, and I think a lot what we're talking about here, with this AI, with working more than like one job now these days, it's all like in the same basket, similar, from this radical left. And I use the term radicalization of what we're seeing in government today. And every time I bring this up, especially these X spaces, which I think is like kind of like the wave of communicating, on social media now with these X spaces, similar to like a Clubhouse or Discord, but more of a free speech type of platform, because the X spaces, they differentiate a little bit from Clubhouse and through Discord. They give you more of the freedom behind the microphone or through your phone or whatever device you're using.
Yeah.
Hold on, Joe. You use the term radicalization, and automatically, whether you're talking about AI or you're talking about general politics, it's like it's not allowed in the discussion. What do you talk? I would strongly use a different term than radicalization. Why? I mean, I had a discussion, guys, in a space late last week with Florida's Marco Rubio. That was in the conversation. Well over like 300,000 people in that damn space. Well over like a huge amount of people. I used the term radicalization. He even said, I would discontinue using that term radicalization. Why? Like, why is everyone afraid of radicalization? I don't understand it.
They're afraid of reality is what it is. Yeah. And, it's back to the inflation thing. Let's examine California alone. As the saying goes, your mileage may vary, right? What happens in rural areas is different than what happens in urban areas. Cost of living from place to place to place, from rural to urban and state to state varies and is different. So your mileage may vary. But let's look at Gavin Gruesom's $20 an hour minimum wage now.
With a new law taking effect in California on April 1st, fast food workers in the state will have the highest base salary in the industry. Governor Gavin Newsom signed AB 1228, the FAST Act, back in September. It bumps the minimum wage for fast food workers from $16 an hour to $20, but that only applies if the restaurant chain has 60 or more stores nationwide. Though small businesses do not have to raise their pay rates, some mom-and-pop restaurants are concerned about their employees leaving. Owner of the Burger Bar spoke to KCBS.
You end up matching the minimum wage, and you end up matching whatever you have to get good employees that you want running the show here. And then you end up just raising your own prices.
Besides small businesses, other exemptions to the pay rise include quick service restaurants that are located in airports, hotels, event centers, theme parks, and corporate cafeterias. The California Fast Food Council, one of the unions that lobbied for the FAST Act, said in a statement, "The vast majority of fast food locations in California operate under the most profitable brands in the world. Those corporations need to pay their fair share and provide their operators with the resources they need to pay their workers a living wage without cutting jobs or passing the cost to consumers."
Now, more people fleeing because prices are soaring even more than that 27% in California because of this new minimum wage law. And folks, the real minimum wage is $0. And a whole lot of people are losing their jobs because more AI automation can replace them. And those who aren't getting the increase in minimum wage, again, their wages are destroyed because to make up for the $20 minimum wage, the cost of your burger in California is 3 times more than it is in Michigan or Florida where you are, Atlanta where you used to be, let alone the back roads area, rural areas.
Hold that thought, guys. I do have the guest coming in right now, our scheduled guest for today's show. Going by the name of Joshua Youngbluth. If I pronounced her last name, buddy, I do apologize. I might have butchered it, but I hope you understand that. Joe will vouch for me. I'm terrible with pronunciation sometimes. I think I skipped that class in grammar school. When it came to that point, I was sleeping or something. I didn't have my coffee at 5-6 years old. Maybe.
You know what? It's not as list. Now I'm doing a U. It's not as like a lot of these names are phonetic sounding, where you can phonetic them out. A lot of these, and again, with my own name, it's not Leonard. It's not French. It looks like Leonard. It's Leonard without an O, right? So a lot of these names, it's sometimes difficult to get them right, and we certainly don't do it on purpose.
Yeah. So let me plug him in here, guys, as he's going to be joining us here momentarily. This is Joshua, also known to be with his background of I guess a passion and interest and maybe an income, a job, right? A career. We'll discuss this with him and get a little bit more of a backstory. He has a passion for AI art. And what I mean by AI art, guys, is it's patriotic AI art. And that's fascinating. We see a little bit of that on social media, guys, with the AI art. We see it heavily presented all over X, a little bit, like I said, other social media platforms. But this gentleman, guys, is also a veteran, both in the United States Air Force and Army. And he's also, like I said, mentioned he's passionate about creating patriotic-themed art. And a tremendous story here. I don't want to plug him too much because I always give the floor and the mic and airtime to the guests. They explain it better than I do because it's who they are. It's their background. So without further ado, guys, I do want to welcome Joshua in. Joshua, how you doing? Welcome.
Hey, how are you? Good to be on the show. I'm glad.
Good. Yeah, doing well. So tell me a little bit about this passion behind this AI art. How did you get into it, Joshua?
I got into it because, when they first came out with the AI image generators, I was really into it because you needed to be into a at least on a list in order to get into the AI, right? And this was at the early days. This was like 2023, late 2022. And this was just kind of when it was first starting. And I thought it was one of the coolest things ever. So I was trying to get into those lists, but I never really did. But when it eventually came out, version 3 of Midjourney came out. And that's where I started. I started on version 3. And I started with just, images that I just wanted to make. And then I could see the potential from version 3, but when version 4 came out from Midjourney, the potential became so great, and that's when I really started getting into the, in the politics, because I have always been passionate about, being on the MAGA team. Donald Trump is, I think, the way to go forward. I don't think that's a question to, anyone that's on the right. At least the constituents of the Republican Party, unless they're, some neocon or whatever. But anyway, so I decided to start making Donald Trump images, and they were very well received. I was putting them, and this was during the time of, the great silencing, when Twitter was kind of silencing a lot of people. This is before Elon Musk was really, took control of Twitter, where we could actually, have our voice back. So I was putting them on, places like Patriots.win, and they were being very well received. Now, granted, in my early days, I look back at my early work and it's not as good. And then it just became the fervor. And then when Elon took over X, I was like, well, let's do it on X because, that's the way to go. And it's opened up so many doors of my life. I have people following me now that I never thought would ever follow me. I've talked to, people that I never believed I would ever be able to talk to. And, and the way that I look at AI, a lot of people on the right, they're scared of it. And I get it because it is a scary technology.
Yeah. Joe, I hate to chime in though, but Joe and I, the gentleman that I have on my show, Joseph M. Leonard, he's an author, and I can go intensively on his political background, but I'll let him discuss that with you as we continue the conversation. You mentioned about AI. You mentioned about the MAGA movement behind that. Now, I find that very interesting. Because we were discussing a little bit about AI and radicalization of the left and how they manipulate AI and the algorithms behind it. Have you, as an AI artist and obviously a supporter of MAGA that I'm seeing here, because I looked at your website, sir, and it shows pictures of Donald Trump all over your AI art. So it does seem like you do have an interest in the MAGA movement. It does seem like you're a supporter of Donald Trump, and that's just my not my words, but it's my views on how I'm seeing some of the imagery. Would you say that you're a big supporter of Donald Trump at all, sir? Or?
Hey, absolutely, hands down. I think that he's the way forward. I mean, look at what the establishment, the people that, the left and the right can agree a lot on who the actual enemy is, right? On who the actual perpetrators of, the income inequality and things like this that's happening to the people. And really it's mega corporations and the deep state, right? It's government, out of control government and mega corporations. And, I think if you look at what's happening to Donald Trump, you could absolutely see that those very people are coming after him. They're gunning for him. I mean, we have a former president of the United States of America on trial for frivolous lawsuits. I mean, absolutely frivolous, incredibly. This is unprecedented what's happening in our country. And it's a travesty, truly. And I mean, it's really an embarrassment, because if you were to look at what's happening, to a former president of the United States. I mean, I don't think a lot of people understand the brevity of what is actually happening because of this new age of distraction, and where we have this constant torrent of information that's constantly distracting us from what is actually real.
Sure.
So,
and some of these algorithms that they're using, because we discussed AI, earlier in the conversation, and some of the AI does have the advantage, right? I use AI from time to time here on the show with self-promotion and, through other companies and stuff. But some of it can be easily manipulated. We use that term, algorithms. Let's get into that, if you don't mind. Like,
it's dissets, right?
I'm a former IT guy, so I'm well aware of AI from its beginnings to now. And another thing is AI cheating. Now, as long as you're upfront and honest that you are an AI artist, you're using that to help as an aid to create your art, I've got no problem with that. You're being honest. Where the problem is, and I discuss on my Constitutionalist Politics AI show, is people who don't disclose. They claim stuff as their own. And then the other thing is, on that site, what was that? Patriots Breaking Wind? Bum, just a joke. Patriot wins.
Joe jokes around from time to time, Joshua. I apologize. I hope we didn't easily trigger you like you're not a leftist, buddy. I can clearly see you're not a leftist, so you're not a triggered little snowflake. But go ahead,
I think a true sign of intelligence is being able to entertain an idea without having to accept it. And so you got to take all the blows with you, especially if you're starting getting into the political realm and the political ring. You have to be able to take the blows as they come, and you cannot allow emotions to get the better of you. But let's talk about these AI algorithms in the biases that we're finding in the AI realm right now, in this AI revolution. You know, and there absolutely is a bias, but you can get around them. And I always try to tell people that you got to learn how to prompt these things. Yes, they're going to try and send you in one direction, right? Just as much as the news is going to try and send you in one direction. We're in an information war. You have to understand that, like, this is where they're going to try and direct you, right? You know, you learn these types of things when you're in the Army, and especially in the field that I was in, which is, you know, as a trained linguist and as an IT guy. But the thing is, yeah, I was a 35 Papa and a 25 uniform in the Army. So I was a linguist. I'm trained in Hindi, Urdu. I can speak in Hindi and Urdu, and I've conversational Russian.
Highly intelligent. I love it. I love it. And you mentioned you're a military veteran, and you know that the link between the veteran and the AI. Do you get any bash for that or any?
No, not at all. And I think that what people need to realize is that AI is already out of the bag. I mean, the cat's already out of the bag. The AI is here to stay. There's nothing we can do. Yes, we should try to regulate it, but at this moment in time, during this election, the AI is out of the bag. There's a lot of people on the right who are hesitant, and I get that. But at the same time, the weapon is already there. We need to pick up this sword that they have, and we need to start using it against them, because they're going to use it against us. And so we really need to get on board with AI and really start using it, because one of the big gaps on the right, at least as I see it now, even though it's kind of changing because a lot of younger people are coming back over to the conservative side of things, because all you have to do is take a look at the state of the world, and you realize that the people that are in charge cannot govern, and they're not competent. But, you know, and a lot of people want to go back to what used to work, which is traditionalism or something like that. So we're starting to see this new surge of younger people coming in. And this is exactly how we can get them into that position. Look, using AI, you know, as you said, a lot of people try to take AI and claim it as themselves. I don't look at AI as just something that, you know, that makes it for me. I use it like an assistant. I use it like someone, you know, who helps me write what I'm doing. You know, like, do this for me and make it happen.
You're using it as a passion, but you're also using it as an interest too. You're trying to educate people that are less educated, right? You're trying to inform people that are less informed. I get it, and we're seeing that a lot. Yeah,
I agree with you on several things, like the right, us on the right hand election, ballot harvesting. Where it's legal, we have to engage in it. We can't just surrender that ground. AI, as you said, is here to stay. It's not, and I agree with you, we have to learn to work our way around the known built-in bias and what it would like to direct us as.
Exactly.
And again, as long as you're upfront and honest as you are, that it's being used as a tool and you're using it as an assistant, as you said, and not putting forth the work as solely your own creation and all of your own hand. That is where the problem is. Plagiarism, the new plagiarism.
Yeah, and like a lot of people, I've always been honest from the get-go when I got on X and presenting these images. Like, these are AI images, but I do put my personal touch on them. You know, I do put them into Photoshop. I edit out all the stuff that AI gets wrong. You know, I do have a set of skills to bring it into a finished piece. And so, and a lot of things is like, the plagiarism aspect. You know, a lot of people try to pass off with simple prompts in AI what they do. What I like to do with, like, say, ChatGPT, when I'm writing a long piece, is I like to put on my microphone. I talk into the microphone exactly what I want to say, and I say, and we hammer it out together. And I figure that when I'm with ChatGPT and I'm hammering out my message, I am curating this. I'm acting like as a director. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm that way, but at the same time, I'm more of an editor, and it's more of like my writer, right? So it's like I'm kind of going in, I'm telling it what to write. It writes it for me. I'm like, no, you got this wrong. You got this right. You forgot this. Let's do this. And I work with it. And then when I have my finished product, that's when I can present it onto X, and I go through a lot of process like that. It's going to be wonders.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I've got an eBay example. Just the other day, I was listing on eBay, and eBay has, hey, AI can help you generate your listing. I put in my information. I clicked on it to see what it would spew back. It spewed something back. I said, oh, I like that. Much of that is better, not all of it. And indeed, like then you said, I went back in and kept what I thought were improvements, made changes. So to be sure, at the end of the day, it was still my own.
Exactly. And that's how we should be viewing this. On the right, we really need to be using this new tool. It is absolutely crucial because what we're dealing with right now in the information war on the battlefield of X or Twitter, is that we need to get these points across. And, especially how the left has been championed by, the professional class of America, the academics, the academic class, or they've been brainwashed by their ideologies within academia, because it's obvious that cultural Marxism is ever prevalent within the universities.
Yeah,
but
if we have a little time here before we depart, I noticed, a little late on the show, but that's okay. I understand things come up, but no, it's okay. It's okay. Because I have a guest coming on around 12, but it's okay. But if we have a little time to discuss this, you talked about algorithms. You talked about something similar to that. What was that again? I kind of missed a little bit towards the end because I was going to say something. And I had a brain fart. I do apologize, but I was listening to what you were saying. But you were mentioning something about algorithms. We have to be careful there. What was that again?
Okay. So basically, the data sets that AI is trained with, right?
Yeah.
And they program bias within there. There's a lot of safety rails that are on in ChatGPT, right? If you start getting into controversial subjects, it will try to derail you or try to move you over into this accepted narrative in the modern world, right? Like, oh, this is racist, or this is this, or this is that. That basically, but there is a way to skirt around it. And if people want to get like a chatbot that is completely unregulated, it's actually not that hard to do. Really all
right where you were just there. I just need I hate to chime in, but there was my question. Wow, boom. You see, guys, you have to repeat sometimes of your answers to get the right terminology. But as we close up here on the show, I noticed my next guest is in the green room, so I got to be quick about this because I don't want to take too much of her time. But what I'm trying to say is, you post certain posting or tweets or however you whatever social media platform you decide to go on, right? How do you post something without the AI interfering? You seem like an AI expert, right? You seem like you work with it a lot and you understand the whole background of AI. How do you post something without it being heavily censored, shadow banned, or taking off that social media platform? Because we're seeing that a lot now. We're seeing that a lot. Yeah. Like if we post something, it gets taken off.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely unpopular ideas that they try to, skirt in these algorithms that are in the social media. What I try to do is, well, not necessarily be PC, but I try to take my political ideology and put it into a position where it could be presented and that is not, crass or over the bearing or, not using F words. That's a big deal, when you're on Twitter and things like that.
The F words will actually do it?
Yeah, it will. Okay. So like if you ever like post an F word or something like that, or you're an idiot or something on X, it'll be like, most people don't like this type of tweet. And basically what it's really trying to tell you is we're going to screw you on the algorithm. So, yeah, that's kind of what it is. So you have to kind of learn. I mean, you could go on YouTube, figure out how these algorithms, what is popular, what is trending, and how are these people who are popular, how are they imposing their ideologies in which that they are. Really, the big fact that you need to do is really just build an audience first, because once you have a large audience on Twitter, it seems to be that you get more leeway on what you can say.
I noticed that. Like when you post things in certain communities, even on the community chats, because I get invited on community chats all the time on Twitter, usually the MAGA ones, right? And you don't see too many of that, too much of it affecting the algorithms through the AI. I noticed that.
Right.
Do you notice that as well too, or no?
Yeah, I noticed a lot actually, and because I've just been, when I first got on the Twitter, I had no idea what I was doing, and it took me a while, and just in this short amount of time that I've had, I've already built, a lot. I have a lot of people, very impressive people following me on Twitter, and it's
yeah.
my biggest thing that I got to say to people who want to get a bigger audience on Twitter is generate content. You have to
I'm a
generate
firm believer
content.
in it. You have to generate the content. You have to push it, push it. If you're not pushing it, then you're wasting your time. As
then you got to be
creator or influencer.
You got to be a reply guy too. So in the beginning, when you don't really have an audience, you can't really post. No one's really looking. You have to hit these bigger accounts and really post these positions, what you're saying to these replies, and that's where you're going to get more eyes on you, more followers, and then you got to hit Twitter Spaces.
I reply to Elon a lot.
That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, but to get you on his radar, for better or worse. Two things, like the Nextdoor app, we see that with the AI. If you say something that it doesn't think is politically correct enough, or as I call PC, pathetical corruptness, it'll give you a kind replies or better. Would you like to update that or publish as is? But they at least let you publish as is. And thank you, Joshua, for coming on. Better late than never, as I say.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, things happen. But this audience will remember back when I subbed for Savaged on a Twitter live stream, and there were two guests, and they were both no-shows. No-shows. So we were able to stretch till you got here. Unlike that 45 minutes, I was like, what the fuck do I talk about?
Well, one thing that I wanted to before we close out with me is like one thing that we're trying to do right now, Jason Corsi and I, is we're creating videos like America Lives, like Crossroads, like Become Unstoppable, and you can find them on my X at Youngbluth. That's JYOUNGBLUTH, and you could go on there and you could see my videos that we've created, and we're really just trying to inspire people on the right to use this type of art to do what you can do, because a million drops create an ocean, and we need to make this red wave happen.
Yeah, we need to make this red wave happen. We need to save America, because everything is dying. I'm about to bring on a comedian / TV personality, and even in her industry, I'm sure humor and comedy is a dying breed. No one's laughing anymore, Joshua. No one's laughing, but they don't get the humor behind it. Everything is triggered now. I've had comedians on my show. And I have a standard comedian that comes on the show every now and then. Bobcat Lament from his show Static, and he even tells me the same thing. Like, comedy is like it's a struggle. It really is.
Yeah, when you look at things from the perspective of a cultural Marxist, things make a lot more sense as to what is accepted and what is not accepted within the social media algorithms, and what is accepted with it on TV, and who are the people that are actually in charge of the media, and what is allowed to be said and what is not allowed to be said. What's really strange to me in the modern world is that people say, "Oh, you can't say that." Yes, I can say that. That's the First Amendment, and I don't care. And you're allowed to not like me for it, and that's fine. And I don't have to like you. I don't need someone to have a gun pointed at me to say that you must like this group of people because they're oppressed, or I'm an oppressor, or whatever it is.
Joshua.
Okay, no problem.
No, Joshua. I'm doing a metaphor of a gun. You need to you need to like these people right now, or that's it. That's it.
That's exactly what's happening. Let men into women's sports, bigot. It's like, dude, come on. Like, do you not realize that you are literally trying to tear? Well, I mean, they do realize they're cultural Marxists. It starts with demoralization. 2 generations of demoralized, apathetic, amoral generations. Your Gen Z and your millennials that don't really know what's going on, and then we are into destabilization, where they target the pillars of our society, where they hit the banking system, judicial system, which creates crisis. And we're about to enter into crisis. And once they hit crisis, they're going to go into normalization. They're going to try and introduce their proposed ideology. This is problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah, at J Youngbluth, I just followed you at J Leonard Author on X, and I see there, to close things out, your website is artforpatriots.com, correct?
Correct. Yep, that is correct.
Because we got to wrap it up and move into the next guest.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry about being late. Just something came up with my son, so
Shit happens.
Yeah,
It happens. Again, you still showed up at least. You weren't a complete no-show. So, hey, no problem.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you, gentlemen, and have a great, excellent day.
Yeah. Thanks very much for calling in, Joshua. And take it easy, buddy. If you want to learn more about Joshua, guys, go over to art4patriots.com. Again, it's art4patriots.com. If you missed that, guys, we'll put it in the show notes on our audio platform, Spotify, iHeart, all that, including Rumble, Video, and X, guys. Thanks very much, Joshua. Thank you very much for
no problem, man.
Take it easy.
Great to be on.
Thank you.